outgoing SRC would like to give our position in the statement, what we've actually achieved. Because we've been fighting for one thing. The primary thing that we've been fighting for is the outgoing SRC was access to education. We believe that the economy of this country is deteriorating every day at unprecedented levels. So what is more critical is education. So we've been lobbying with the administration to allow students to register after paying a reasonable amounts and so forth. So this is what has been critical to us. That is students. Yes, we talk of quality education, but what is more critical in this economy is access to education. So I will leave this time to the outgoing Vice President ZINASU.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is quite said. This press conference was supposed to be done on campus. It pertains to the students. However, the ZANU-PF on campus masquerading is administration. They saw it fit and stopped us from carrying out our press conference at our building, which was donated by the Queen Elizabeth when he was the Queen of Rhodesia in Nyasaland, and they stopped us from carrying out this transition. We are to do it here. However, we are going to some of the achievements that we did during our term of office. The recent election of the new UZ Student Executive Council marked an end of our tenure and my tenure as the SEC Vice President. And when any leader, especially an elected one, leaves office, he or she should make it a point to brief the electorate on the achievements they made and whether or not they were able to deliver their electoral processes or not. Number one, we successfully pushed the UZ admin to allow students to pay $100 in order to register and later on to pay $20 for one to be allowed to sit for exams, which are starting next week. Together with other SEC members, medicine students for a demonstration following a fee increment was reversed. That was in January this year. The SU bar is in the process of being reopened, courtesy of our efforts as Student Executive Council. I announced that the government will work with microfinance institutions to avail loans to students after a protracted media campaign pushing the government to act on the issue of inadequate financial resources being faced by students. Payment of full fees, while one is on attachment of the past following our engagement with Professor Jonathan Moyo over the matter. We pushed Jonathan Moyo again to ensure that attachment is carried out their first year on the job rather than by students in tertiary institutions, as it proved to be a mammoth task to ensure one. Personally promised non-resident students that they would get transport to and from, and I can certainly confirm that UZ has secured buses that will ferry students from their local areas of residence to town and from college. More halls of residence are going to be built opposite National Defense College to accommodate over 5,000 students, cases of our cries for accommodation rules to be addressed. We called for amendment of an alignment of Ordinance 30 with the new constitution, and I can certainly confirm that the Secretary for Legal in the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education is on it. Lastly, we groomed future leaders at the institution. In closing remarks, I say, being a student leader in these tough times was not an easy task. Students were facing a myriad of challenges that require a great deal of commitment from their leaders. I therefore wish my successor, Tawanda Vizjena, the best in all in his endeavors of the life of students. I encourage the incoming leadership to see to it that student union buildings comes back to the control of students, and the student union constitution is amended, for these are the two things which we struggled to achieve. In closing, I encourage all students, youth, the elderly, as a first priority and vote for change to unseat the clueless government. And as I complete my studies next month, it is said that I can't avoid joining a pool of vendors, a situation that can be changed if youth and students vote for change in their numbers. This is the wake-up call that if leadership can be changed, and if power can be transferred at such a small scale, it is also possible at national. And the duty to do that lies with you and me. We have set a very good precedent of what should be done soon after 2018 elections. Must be done with ease, even if the results do not favor the incumbent. Over to you, my president.
Thank you. I think from the account which came from the Vice President, it is critical that is the SRC, which is outgoing, which many believe to respond or to answer to his promises, has managed to fulfill the promises that he had promised the students in October, only in October 2016. It is key for us to thank the students for their support. It is key for us to thank students for the unity which they gave us, which was there during our term in office. I would like to congratulate the students and my administration for the unity and progress that we've managed to achieve in the shortest term as an SRC of the University of Zimbabwe. We managed to improve the access to education through performance measures that were explained by the Vice President. The Minister and the Parliamentary Committee, we've pushed up government efforts to amend the legislation governing the universities and to reintroduce a financial support system for students. Late registration fee, which used to dog students and which used to be devilish for students, has become a thing of the past. Welfare has been re-engineered, and this was the success of the students by the students. Democracy predicts as democracy requires, and nature equally. It does not require or allow for a vacuum to exist. Most of us are going to be graduating this semester of this with no new executive being established. And because of that, we went through an election process which was constitutionally provided for in the Students' Union Constitution. But then during the election, it is only key that we highlight some of the issues that we thought have to be exposed and to be spoken about. Issues that some candidates feel were supposed to be eradicated or avoided even. There was excessive vote buying by the unions that were part of that election. But less than 30% of the university community voted, combined voted for the leadership. So this SRCs will definitely face a crisis of illegitimacy or questions of illegitimacy. The voters' roll were incomplete. Some faculty, some students couldn't find their names on the voters' roll, even though they had registered for this semester. And as such, after the election results, there was a suggestion that the election could have been stolen. Suggestions which were presented to the presidential candidates and the SGs, but most of them voted for the continuation and the legitimization of the results. Against this background, the official SRC, the UZ, like I said, will suffer from questions of illegitimacy from the students' point. We urge and encourage the students to engage with the SRC productively, to ensure that they hold the SRC accountable, and to ensure that the SRC will fulfill its mandate as it promised to the students. Nature, like I say, for dead democracy, it allows for an active democracy and competent leadership. And to ensure these two to exist, nature has created a vanguard which will represent the students outside of the official offices. A vanguard which will speak to the issues of the students, which will be the primary instrument that will hold the SRC accountable. Vanguard has got to do this duty selflessly and in full commitment. Never die. The students will remain focused, will remain united, and will ensure the continuity of its integrity. So, in conclusion, administration, the mentor is now on you, the duty is now for you, the students are crying, the operating environment is still unsafe. There is need for continuous speech between the students and the administration. There is need for lobbying and practical, real-time solutions to the students. That is my message to the SRC, which was elected in court, and to the Vanguard equally, which has volunteered to represent students with complete selflessness and complete commitment. I thank you.
So I would like to leave this time to those questions.
Just a follow-up. When was these elections held?
It was on the 5th of May.
5th of May. Where's the new SRC executive?
Essentially, the Constitution provides for 2 weeks of handover takeover, which will be, this is now the 2nd week, so by Friday they will be fully in office. This executive was invited to this meeting, but then, for some reason, they were invited to this press conference. Initially, we decided to do it in the Students' Union building, which we believe is a chartered asset of the Students' Union. But then through the processes of the university, with regard to media and so forth, we went to town. The new SRC, we thought they would be here. Some of them, we invited them, and then they were giving us frivolous excuses. They are busy, and so forth. Not here. I'm actually going to ensure that I will go to the root of it and understand why they did it.
And to add more to it, country for the past 7 years, which has struggled to witness a transition of power, especially at national level, and the handover takeover ceremony, where we relinquish power, is something that was supposed to be done at the biggest and oldest institution of higher learning, which is the University of Zimbabwe. Well, with the university administration, who then intimidated the incoming executive to shun this handover takeover ceremony for reasons best known, which us as intellectuals had to interpret to say is something that has not happened at national level, and they didn't like to see it happening at the University of Zimbabwe. And even when we assumed office last year, there was no transition of power. We were just given keys, and it was business as usual. But as agents of democracy, that a ceremony has to be held where we relinquish power, handing it over to the incoming executive, which was intimidated and failed to attend this program.
Also on the issue, I think it is critical that to know that we as students, it is so disheartening to note that actually the mainstream politics is actually trying to penetrate into student elections. Why? Because in the past weeks we've seen several a certain political party celebrating the outcomes of UZ elections. Though that election was not for political parties, that election was for the students. And if you start politicizing it, it is to the student-driven issue. Why? Because those who were elected were not elected on the issue of party basis. They were elected on the issue of student-driven issues that they sought to address. So the problem is that we have started to politicize student elections, especially in the case of Zimbabwe. This is not a contestation of mainstream political parties. It is a platform for students to elect their leaders, constitutional, without any political interference. So we as students, we were surprised to see political parties celebrating that they have won these elections. No political party won the University of Zimbabwe elections. The elections were held by the students, primarily for the students and by the students. More questions? So we think we've managed to give our position is the outgoing SRC, the University of Zimbabwe, to say the University of Zimbabwe is elected new leadership, is elected the new executive, which actually will start to work and start to represent the students. Constitutional after 2 weeks, it's actually on this coming Friday. So we've actually allowed the smooth transition of power. We believe in democracy, we are agents of democracy. We'll continue to pursue this agenda of democracy. And I would like to, I personally, as the outgoing SRC spokesperson. I'd like to congratulate the incoming spokesperson, but unfortunately is not here. Invited him to come to this press conference, but due to several reasons, he didn't manage to come. So thank you for attending this conference.